Well, we're using some cobalt blue and burnt sienna. A little bit of yellow ochre. No, yes, yellow ochre, sorry. And I'm just stuffing some color in places here. It's just, you know, it's, yeah, I decided to go with ground cover. Just flattened grass. Okay, let's see here. I also decided that I would try. I don't know if it's going to be successful or not. We'll just see. I thought I would put another rock in, another stone, just to break up. We have, you know, such an equal area here, narrowing and then widening here again. Narrowing being right in the center. I thought I would like to break this up even more. I realize the far side goes up higher. You can see that I've placed a couple of would-be saplings, you know, something that doesn't want to be grass, some sort of ground cover bush right close to the rock. And, you know, maybe something aspiring to be a bit of a tree or a couple of small, maybe just bush, what have you. But I think it breaks this area up nicely. I still need to obviously paint in the rock behind it. So this is kind of the always fairly rewarding part of the painting, it seems, because you cover ground using a big brush, and you really don't want to get too hung up on detail. That is a bad idea at this time. Okay, so let's add a little more blue. Keep going a little darker. We need little varieties in our green in the foreground, but we don't want too much because we don't want for it to become too busy. So that's kind of what I'm on about right now. Okay. And we're catching, you know, a hint of light in this area. I don't want to go too light there, but I'll go lighter there than I did here, I think, ish. And we will ignore the yellow ochre now. We're just going to add a bit of white to it. I want to keep it kind of cold. Okay, I think that's probably about as far down that direction I want to go, as far as going dark is concerned, as far as going light is concerned, rather. I'll just tuck that stroke up in behind those bits of foliage. Okay. That might be too dark. No, maybe not. Maybe not. You know, I'm using a flat brush, and when you use a flat brush, it's not like a round brush where you're really just squeezing out more paint. You use a flat brush, and you're changing the shape of your stroke. Oh, I found a little hair. Trying to tag along. We don't want them in there. Just a hint lighter, just a hint. Okay, I've got a number of lines left there, but I think I'll leave them. I like to leave a lot of lines showing through, a lot of the darker paint showing through in a case like this, because it's easy enough to go into it later and remove lines that you don't want. But I'd rather not end up running the risk of removing too many lines early on, because there's no going back. Then you would have to mix up dark color and go over this paint and draw those lines in. It never looks that natural when that happens. It just doesn't work that well. Okay. Okay, I'm pretty confident this is going to stay. I like the idea. And I think my value is too high. It's close. We'll drop it a little bit, just a little. Not too much umber there. I think I'd like to go bluer. We'll catch light right across the top though. A little bit anyway. Please don't ask me to describe to you how I know or whether I know exactly when to turn my brush. You know, much of this you go by feel, always taking a risk. That's going to be up to your own intuition. No art teacher can, or no painting teacher can help you with that one. And of course, you know, experience helps a lot, but you know, really, the only one who can help you with experience is you. You have to put in the time No shortcuts. And you'll still screw up, like I do, constantly. It can get frustrating. But it's worth it. Oh, you know, that's an awful lot of detail for a small stone. Yep, I'm not going to do that. I really like it. I like how I look. I like what I drew there, but when you consider this area and put it against the entirety of the painting, it's not good. So this is one of those times where I'm going to have to take something that I like and wipe it out. Kind of a shame when something turns out well and you'd like to keep it, but what are you going to do? Sacrifice the quality of the entire painting just for a few strokes of paint that you like? I don't think so. I don't think that's a good way of looking at things. Okay, a little lighter, just a little bit lighter here. That's it. I better stop right there with this one. Except, of course, to clean up my little sloppy area here. In there. Well, I can tell you it's certainly not my most productive day, but got this foreground cover in anyway. This rock's okay. It needs a bit of work. It's a little bit out of character with the rest of the rocks. A couple of strokes of paint will fix that. I kind of, ended up with a large mass here too, and I thought I'd like to break it up. I'll just offer myself the opportunity to do that by, drawing in a paint, outlining a little rock here. But I ended up with an object here, and almost at the same height, and close enough to the same size. I have one here as well, so I'm happy with the placement of this one. I'm just going to paint over it. It's just going to be ground cover, grass going into bush. And then after that, I've got to clean this up. This is all going to be very dark. This won't be too important, it's really the bush in front that's going to stand out more. I absorbed excess paint from this sliver of rock that's sitting behind here because it's bothering me just a little bit. Can't quite identify the remedy for that yet. So I'm leaving it for the time being, but I don't want it to be important. And once I have other work done in here, it might be fine. Again, it's the decision I'll make when I have to, and not before. So the next thing is the water. It's the elephant in the room, right? Well, it's not being ignored, but I just haven't got to it yet. Going to bring the color in here more in the direction of this color. We're going to lighten it a little bit so that these rocks end up being more of a silhouette against the water. And we're going to raise the value in different areas and lay in, which is crucially important, a few horizontal strokes of light to lighten the area and to capture the actual highlights, which will be just picking up reflections of that light source that's way up high in the painting. Okay, so that's next. Have a good night, guys. See you later.